It's been 78 years since Disney last showcased Dumbo's Great Adventures, so it's safe to say that the live-action remake was long overdue. Disney's modern take on the 1941 classic film Dumbo is filled with obvious and subtle differences. Watch until the end to find out why some fans have completely sworn off the remake.
Fly, little one.
Opening scenes. Disney released the original Dumbo in 1941, and it's safe to say that it was tailored to the younger audience. The film starts off with dark skies, thunder, and a heavy round of rain. We soon see a muster of storks soaring through the thundering skies. Each stork holds a bundle of joy in its beak. The storks are clearly heading down to Florida, where they can deliver the baby zoo animals to their expecting mothers. Unfortunately, babies are delivered to many zoo animals, with the exception of Dumbo's mother, who looks super disappointed. In the live-action remake, however, we're greeted by a very different opening scene. Although the remake is still set in the early 20th century, its opening scene is angled to accommodate the arrival of a small and rumpled circus. It's here that we meet the Farrier family, who'll soon serve as Dumbo's beloved keepers. Holt Farrier's children, Millie and Joe, greet their father at the train station. However, both parties are the bearers of bad news. Holt lost his left arm while away at war, and his kids soon reveal that their mom passed away during Holt's absence. Although the original and the remake start off in very different fashions, disappointment is a theme that is present in both adaptations. Luckily, things start to pick up in the following act. How Dumbo comes into the world. There are plenty of differences between the original and the remake, which is to be expected. One of the biggest ones being is the way Dumbo was brought into the world. In the Disney original, we see a very excited Mrs. Jumbo opening up the stork's package one day late. The circus elephants surround the new mother and her baby, and they let out coos of admiration when Dumbo shows himself for the first time. Despite looking like a regular elephant at first, Dumbo soon sneezes and lets his gigantic ears run free. This causes the other elephants to laugh and make jokes about Mrs. Jumbo's new baby, causing her to lash out in anger. Soon her companions give Dumbo his unfortunate name and rudely laugh in Mrs. Jumbo's face, which makes her even more furious than before. When it comes to the live-action remake, however, the storks are left in the past. Instead, we watch as Holt finds out that the circus owner, Max Medici, has sold his horses to make ends meet after facing some troubling times. This leaves Holt without an act. Luckily, the circus owner soon explains that he's acquired a pregnant elephant named Mrs. Jumbo, and that he wants the Farriers to look after it. Soon the baby elephant is born, and the Farriers find out that he has exceptionally large ears. But unlike the original, Dumbo receives his name from a highly despicable crowd. No more talking animals. As many of you surely remember, Dumbo and the rest of the circus animals are able to talk throughout the original movie. However, things are very different in the live-action remake. Instead of primarily focusing on the lives of zoo animals, the remake centers around the lives of people. So if you're expecting to see Dumbo and Mrs. Jumbo converse and sing in the live-action remake, you're sorely mistaken. Since the film doesn't include talking animals, Dumbo's best friend and mentor, Timothy Mouse, isn't a prominent character. Although he can easily be spotted in the 2019 remake, his character's purpose is primarily replaced by the Farrier family. Mrs. Jumbo. Who could forget the agonizing scene that served to separate Mrs. Jumbo from her adorable baby Dumbo? This heart-wrenching scene is one of the many reasons millennials don't want to watch the live-action remake. In the original film, Mrs. Jumbo is labeled as a mad elephant when she defends Dumbo from a group of cruel boys. Her actions result in her being chained up and locked up, and she's forced to watch as Dumbo gets paraded as the circus clown. Well, apparently some things never change because Mrs. Jumbo also gets sent to elephant jail in the 2019 remake. This time, however, it's the circus actors who end up singing Baby Mine. So while Mrs. Jumbo and Dumbo do get separated in both films, their parting is mourned in different ways. Dumbo's Ability. In the original movie, Dumbo finds out he can fly after drinking intoxicating bubbles and waking up in a tree. However, he's still in disbelief over his abilities because he can't remember the previous night. So Timothy takes it upon himself to help jog Dumbo's memory. The classic song, "When I See an Elephant Fly," is no longer executed by a murder of crows. Instead, it's the circus children who encourage Dumbo to spread his ears and fly. By the time Dumbo masters his gift, the end of the movie is near. So in other words, the original movie ends with Dumbo realizing he can fly, whereas the remake practically picks up where the original left off. In the 2019 live-action film, the Farriers quickly find out that Dumbo is special. In fact, his abilities are showcased from the very beginning. This allows us to find out what happens to Dumbo after he becomes the circus's main attraction. The ending. There's a major spoiler coming your way, so if you haven't watched the newest Dumbo film, it's time to retreat. Anywho, we're about to discuss how both movies end. In the original movie, Dumbo becomes the circus's main attraction and finally gets accepted by his peers. His newfound title allows him to free his mother and get her into a private train cart. When it comes to the remake, though, Dumbo and his mother are released back into the wild where they can be free for the very first time. This new ending just goes to show how much the world has changed in 8 short decades. Whereas it was once normal for animals to be caged and paraded through a circus, these practices are now frowned down upon by modern folk. So it makes sense that the live-action remake would end with Mrs. Jumbo and Dumbo being released into the wild where they belong. Although the original and the remake are very different, they have one thing in common: an exceptionally adorable elephant who reminds us to embrace our differences. What did you guys think about the new and improved Dumbo? What other differences did you spot out? Let us know in the comments section below. Before you go, give this video a big thumbs up and don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Thanks for watching The Things. We'll see you next time.